Hey, you doing guys? ZDEyE here. So I wanted to have a little bit of a discussion regarding of Grand Theft Auto 5, expanded and enhanced, whatever they like to call it, basically regarding of its PlayStation 5 upgrade path. So as you can see by the title of this video, I'm questioning it myself. Where in the world is this upgrade path information? We simply do not have it. Now I will be going over this information myself as well. There are a few new details, but unfortunately there's just simply nothing new that Rockstar has released in terms of the Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. Now, let's get into it. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online arrive for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S on March 15th, delivering the action-packed blockbuster story mode, adventure, and the dynamic, ever-evolving world of Grand Theft Auto Online to the latest generation consoles with a host of improvements for new and returning players. These new versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online introduce high-end PC visuals to the console experience with new graphics modes featuring up to 4K resolution, a frame rate up to 60 frames per second, improvement texture quality, HDR options, and ray tracing, as well as utilizing the technical advancements for the latest console hardware for the fastest loading times, immersive 3D audio, support for the platform-specific features, and more. And as such, to get into the individuals, well, first it is the Grand Theft Auto 5. Experience the interwoven stories of Franklin, Michael, and Trevor across the sun-soaked metropolis of Los Santos and the backwoods countryside of Blaine County in greater detail than ever before, with stunning all-new level of visual details. Choose from one of the three details. Okay, I'm not gonna, you see what I mean? Like, they're getting into the information that we already are familiar with. We knew this since way back in 2012, in fact, before the game released. But anyway, there's a little bit more information I definitely want to touch on, such as that there's actually ways that we can actually enhance our experience within the gameplay. Fidelity mode is tuned for the highest visual quality and targets 30 FPS. In this mode, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X support native 4K resolution with ray tracing enabled, while the Xbox Series S supports upscale 4K resolution. Performance mode is tuned for the most responsive gameplay experience and targets 60 FPS. In this mode, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X support upscaled 4K resolution, while the Xbox Series S supports a resolution of 1080p. In addition, the PlayStation 5 and the Series X have Performance RT mode. It's like a hybrid of the Fidelity and the Performance mode, supporting upscale 4K resolution with ray tracing enabled and targeting 60 FPS. That sounds like the best option. So these new versions also offer across-the-board improvements, including faster loading times, increased population and traffic variety, increased vegetation density, improved lighting quality across shadows, water reflections, and other elements. Plus improvement anti-aliasing, motion blur, highly detailed new explosions, fire, and much more. Kind of makes you question as well. When they mention ray tracing, I hope they actually mean by real deal ray tracing. That's another thing I should have actually touched on. Because we actually received ray tracing in Cyberpunk 2077 for PS5 upgrade and Series X, but all that it does really make an improvement in terms of utilizing ray tracing is for its shadows. That's it, within the world. That's not good enough. I want more than that. Sure. In fact, I would say light would have been a better option to go with ray tracing, because you can actually see it more clearly instead of shadows being ray traced. Anyway, that's just perhaps my gripe with it. There's also new levels of responsiveness with haptic feedback and a dynamic resistance via the adaptive triggers on the PlayStation 5's DualSense wireless controller. Adding new sensations to the weather effects, directional damage, rough road surfaces, explosions, and much more. Platform-specific features also include immersive audio using Tempest 3D positional audio on the PlayStation 5 and a spatial sound on the Xbox Series X and S. Now, next up is the online version of Grand Theft Auto. The massive and the unraveled experience of Grand Theft Auto Online within the unprecedented 8+ years worth of gameplay additions delivering across over 40 unique updates will continue to evolve with the power of the PlayStation 5 and the Series X and S. This new generation of Grand Theft Auto Online includes a range of the new vehicles and new additions to the Los Santos car meet, Ohio's special works. How Special Works encompasses best-in-class vehicle upgrades, a new class of races using specially modified vehicles, and a weekly rotation of How Special Works time trials, along with a premium test ride, where you can get behind the wheels of these newly modified vehicles for free. In addition to access being included as a part of the Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Online will also now be available for the first time as a standalone title for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Plus, for the first 3 months from launch, GTA Online will be available to download and keep for free for the PlayStation 5 players, making it easier than ever before for new players to experience everything Grand Theft Auto Online has to offer. As new players might need more than just a pistol in their belt strapped to survive Los Santos, we're introducing a new career builder, featured designed expressly for the new players, or anyone who wants to reset their character and get a fresh start. To get an introductory leg up in the criminal world of Southern San Andreas, with this system you get GTA $4 million within windfall to select essentials including the business properties, vehicles and weapons. Furthermore, Grand Theft Auto Online for PlayStation 5 and Series X and S has an assortment of new quality of life improvements, including a newly designed introduction and tutorial for the new players, a new front-end main menu that allows you to jump directly into the free mode, heist, races, adversary modes, and latest featured weekly event content and more. This definitely was a must change. Now, next up is the story mode and GTA Online character transfers. PS4 and Xbox One players will be able to transfer both their GTA 5 story mode progress and the current Grand Theft Auto Online characters and progression to the PS5 and the Series X and S, or across console platforms with one-time migration for each. Starting today, players can begin transferring their story mode progress by uploading a save to the Rockstar's Game Social Club. To begin this process, enter GTA 5 on your current console account and go to the Game tab, of the pause menu. From there, select the Upload Save Game option. Please note you can only store one game save per platform at a time, and save will remain available to download for 90 days. Players with Rockstar Games Social Club account will also be able to migrate their GTA Online character progression to PS5 or Xbox Series X and S on March 15 upon loading up the game on either of these new consoles. This migration includes any characters, Grand Theft Auto Cash, progression stats, vehicles, properties, weapons, clothing, and player-created jobs. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online will be available digitally on March 15th through the PlayStation 5 console store and the Microsoft Store, with pre-purchase and preload beginning on March 8th, and physical release coming in April. Stay tuned for more details. And they also mentioned a little bit of Grand Theft Auto Online platform migration. Purchased GTA Cash can only be transferred between platforms on the same family, PS4 to the PS5, Xbox One to the Xbox Series. All earned GTA Cash will transfer regardless of platform. That's it. That was all pretty much the whole case regarding, what these new things I guess will be coming to the next generation of Grand Theft Auto 5. And to be honest with you, so far it's just like okay, just okay. But still, we have to understand, right? What is there anything else that we can expect? And unfortunately, it seems like there's nothing else, or at least there's nothing new that we should expect out of this game, especially if those of you that were looking forward to some kind of expansion, maybe DLC towards the single player mode of Grand Theft Auto 5. It just, unfortunately, there's not going to be anything in there. Perhaps maybe they will have something like a little bit of Easter eggs and little tiny tidbits, but is it going to be worth the full price tag? I just don't know. Now, regarding with the full price tag, we do not know. Will actually be will Take-Two or should I say Rockstar, will they be actually reselling Grand Theft Auto 5 for full price tag all over again? It's not going to be ridiculous because that's Rockstar. They like to kind of cop out with this money, makes total sense. But if this is the case, if this is what you have to offer for us, and on top of that, making Grand Theft Auto Online a standalone game now, and it's free, especially for the PlayStation Plus users for the first 3 months, you can download and get it for free forever, mind you. There's just even less incentive for purchasing Grand Theft Auto 5 for full price on the PlayStation 5 or Series XS. And so what is the price tag that they're gonna actually include this? What is the upgrade path? Say you have a PlayStation 4 version of Grand Theft Auto 5, Can you just simply get a free upgrade towards this version? Or do you have to pay an additional $10? If it's additional $10, hell, even $20, I will pay. I would gladly do so because I love this game. Online, well, again, nowadays online is not good, even though it is ginormous. But, you know, single player is fantastic. I cannot deny that. But still, you know, kind of makes you question, you know, what are they gonna do next? Like, you know, what should they be in terms of the upgrade path, right? Will it be actually $40? Will it be $70 for, you know, full release of a game, so to say? If that's the case, if this game is $40 or more, $70 or more, whatever, $40 or plus dollars, it's 120% not worth it. Even though the game is a, well, single player anyway, it is a masterpiece. It just is. And by being that the game is already reaching up to a decade old, it's not good. It's just not good. Anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to mention regarding this case. Hopefully you have, you know, kind of made a little bit of a questionable decision of yourself. Have you questioned this as well? Like, you know, man, I'm worried. I feel like we will find out about this, including the price tag. I assume will be maybe March 8th. That's when their actually preloads are going to be available. And of course, if you want to preload, then of course you're going to have to make a purchase. And so that's when we will know of the official price tag. Alright, like and subscribe, guys. See you guys all and have a wonderful day.